In a beautiful morning of Ramadan, the teacher entered her classroom and noticed the students eager to learn about the day of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, during Ramadan. Teacher, peace be upon you, my children. How are you today? Students, and peace be upon you, teacher. We are fine. How was the day of the Messenger of God, PBUH, in Ramadan? Teacher, wonderful question. The Prophet's day was full of devotion and worship. He used to start his day with suhoor, saying, "Eat suhoor, for in suhoor there is a blessing," narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. He would eat dates or drink water if no dates were available, then perform the far prayer in congregation, and would remain in his place of prayer remembering Allah until the sun rose. Ahmad, and after far, what would the Prophet, PBUH, do? Teacher, he would continue in the remembrance of Allah and make dua, often saying, "O Allah, make light in my heart, light in my tongue, light in my hearing, and light in my sight," narrated by Muslim. After the sun had fully risen, he would pray the duha prayer and then go about attending to people's needs. Sod. And after dur, what did he do? Teacher, after performing the dur prayer at its time, he would teach his companions their religion and increase in the remembrance of Allah and recitation of the Quran. It is narrated that he said, "The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it," narrated by Bukhari. Afterward, he would take a brief rest before the Asr prayer. Khalid, how did he spend his time between Asr and Maghrib? Teacher, he would spend time in remembrance and prayer and serving his family, often saying, "O Allah, I ask you for forgiveness and well-being in this world and the hereafter," narrated by Ibn Majah. Before Maghrib, he would say the well-known supplication, "The thirst is gone, the veins are moistened, and the reward is assured if Allah wills," narrated by Abu Dawud. Fatima, what did he do after breaking his fast? Teacher, he would promptly perform the Maghrib prayer, then eat his meal moderately before performing the Maghrib Sunnah. After that, he would prepare for the Isha and Tarawih prayers. It is narrated that he would prolong the night prayer, saying, "Whoever prays during the night of Ramadan out of faith and in the hope of reward, his past sins will be forgiven," agreed upon. Students, what about the last 10 days? Teacher, his efforts increased greatly in the last 10 days. He would awaken his family and seek out the night of decree, making the famous supplication, "O Allah, you are most forgiving, and you love forgiveness, so forgive me," narrated by Tirmidhi. He would devote himself to worship and draw closer to Allah. Ahmad, how can we follow the Prophet's example? Teacher, you can follow his example by regularly praying on time, increasing in remembrance, reciting the Quran, being kind to people, giving charity, and striving in worship, especially in the last 10 days. Students, may Allah reward you, teacher. We will strive to follow the guidance of the Prophet, PBUH, this Ramadan. The students felt joyful with the information and decided to make the most of Ramadan like the Prophet, PBUH, to fill it with goodness and blessings.